Science of Prayer explained by Yogananda.
A prayer that is strong and deep will definitely receive God's answer. By the application of science and religion, your uncertain belief in spiritual possibilities can become realization of their highest fulfillment.
Some people regard prayer as vague and ineffective exercise in wishful thinking. The ordinary person resorts to prayer only when in dire trouble and when all other options have failed. But Paramhansa Yogananda taught that true prayer is scientific, being based on precise laws that govern all creation, and is a daily necessity for harmonious living. He explained that our physical bodies and the material world, we live in condensations of invisible patterns of energy. That energy, in turn, is an expression of finer blueprints of thought, the subtlest vibration, which governs all manifestations of energy and matter. The whole of creation was brought into being by God first in thought or idea form. Then the divine consciousness willed those thought patterns to condense into light and energy, and finally into the grosser vibrations of matter. As human beings, made in the image of God, we are different from the lower forms of creation. We have the freedom to use these same powers of thought and energy. By the thought we habitually entertain and act upon, we create the circumstances in which our life unfolds. Prayer is science, by which we can attune the human mind and will to the consciousness and will of God. Through prayer, we form a loving, personal relationship with God, and His response is unfailing. We read in Paramhansa Yogananda's autobiography,
The Lord responds to all and works for all. Seldom do men realize how often God heeds their prayers. He is not partial to a few, but listens to anyone who approaches Him trustfully. His children should forever have implicit faith in the loving kindness of their omnipresent Father.
By patient and persevering application of God's unlimited power, we can, with His love and help, create whatever circumstances we desire and dissolve difficulties and disease, not only for ourselves, but for others.
Prayer is a demand of the soul. God did not make us beggars. He created us in His image. A beggar who goes to a rich home and asks for alms receives a beggar's share, but the son can have anything he asks from his wealthy father. Therefore, we should not behave like beggars. Divine ones such as Christ, Krishna, and Buddha did not lie when they said we are made in the image of God.
The ancient scientist sages of India discovered how to experience an overwhelming communion of joy with a loving God. Paramhansa Yogananda teaches us how we can have this same direct experience of the divine.
I prefer the word demand instead of prayer, because the former is devoid of the primitive and medieval conception of a kingly tyrant God whom we, as beggars, have to supplicate and flatter. There is a great deal of beggary and ignorance in ordinary prayer. Few know how to pray and touch God with their prayers. You have a divine right inherited from God to demand from Him, and He will respond to you because you are His own. If you constantly call to Him, He cannot escape the net of your devotion. If you pray until the ether churns with the light of your prayer, then you will find God.